On this episode of Todd Interviews, he's curious about how we feel about what's going on in the world, and he wanted to ask me some special questions about stuff. Hopefully we'll have a special guest star from Mason, my roommate.
Mason. Right?
Yeah, all that was just bleeped out. They don't know his name except for his name Mason. That is Mason.
He's the only one out here asking the real hard questions.
So abortion.
Abortion.
Todd wants to know. What is your stance on abortion? Quick.
Yes.
You want to kill babies?
Yes, I want to kill babies.
Hell yeah. Todd approves. Tell us, Karina, how do you feel about how the world's going?
Oh boy. Bailey asked me this exact same question while I was on acid.
Yeah, what a dick.
I'm at a loss for words.
Want to say it? What do you want to say it? There's no pressure. It's just being recorded.
Yeah, exactly.
Todd wants to know.
You fucker. And like, the thing that I realize is the most that I can do for the world right now is to just take care of myself. I don't like being on social media. I don't really like hearing about it in like my friend like group chat, because it's just like fucking, we're just going in circles about the fucking world.
I mean, you went to the protest. You went to the vigil.
Yeah, I went to the protest.
So like, I think it's important to like you are like doing a part, even though, well, I think that's like a really healthy outlook, right? It's like you're disconnecting from the things that are bringing you stress, but you're still contributing to the positive. To a positive source of what you believe in.
Yeah, I felt really good being there. Like, I was fully fucking present in that protest. Like, I wasn't, like, my mind wasn't somewhere else. Like, oh, fuck, I should be doing this. Like, I don't feel good. Like, I was fully there. And I'm grateful that I took that time to be a little bit selfish for those few hours.
Well, it's like, I don't know, selfish is such a negative connotation, but, like, is self-care, like, is that bad?
It depends it depends like the degree of like the self-care, like if it's, you know, impacting other people's lives.
Yeah, let's say you're a doctor and so you self-care to the point where you're not even taking care of your patients anymore.
Yeah, you're not even doing your job.
Then that selfishness takes over. But I think that like a certain amount of selfishness is good. You know, like you have to take care of yourself. You have to have that ego, that sense of like value for yourself. But I think that like because there's so much ego in media these days, it's so like focused on as like this negative thing, because like in many cases it is a negative thing. Me growing up, I was always so consumed with this idea that I was a narcissist and that like I only cared about myself, when in reality it was just like parts of myself that needed love and needed value were being neglected. And so every time I like had like the almost like the intuition to feed into that part of myself, I would stop myself and I'd be like, no. Like, you're being way too egocentric. Like, you care only about yourself and you're doing this because you're selfish inherently. But it's like, yeah, so what? I'm being selfish. Like, I'm buying a fucking popsicle and I'm taking the day to like enjoy myself, you know? And I mean, like, even amid these protests, you know, it's like, as long as like you keep yourself educated and like you're aware of like the space that you need to provide for certain people, as well as like being a person who at the end of the day is being honest to yourself and is being honest about your intentions towards the world and what you want to do and go about the world. I think that you don't need to worry too much about being too egocentric. But that's my soapbox. I'm glad you listened, Todd.
We've all got a voice. Some are louder than others, but we've all got one. That voice can come from our mouth, the expressions of our face, or even just the presence of our being. The voice I speak of is more than just sound waves. It is the package through which our experience is shared. Sometimes we're scared to have a voice. A voice is dangerous. A true voice brings with it vulnerability. It is a common misconception that those who withhold their voice hold within them strength beyond others. The reality is that those who are willing to have a voice are the strongest. Should my experience be so daunting to those around me that I ought to be beaten for my voice, assuming I speak only my truth, then the power I hold is beyond the fists and kicks that shall follow. To send one's experience out into the world is in itself a way of becoming one with the world. The presence of our experience embodies the truth we exist within. Practice the truth of your voice as to avoid getting caught up in the anguish of fantasy and anxious belief. To learn how to let go of these false pretenses is to exist as your voice, your experience. If you remember anything in this world, remember this. Words are structures and concepts and the worst kind of blunt tools. We must not forget this. They do not come first, they come last. The truth of a hug can only be sent through the voice if another has already experienced that truth. Do your best to convey to me what comes first, and you shall discover truth no matter the words to come. In this way, you will have found your voice.
We're back with Todd Interviews. Today we're macing Mason. How do you feel about the current world affairs?
I think we're on the way to change, but only if we can figure out what that change is.
What's the
Like
vision?
what is this new world? All is said and done,
Right,
change has been made. What does that look like? You know,
Yeah, I would agree with that.
nobody
I
knows
think-
what that is.
Well-
Nobody. Like they got like ideas of what it is,
Mhm.
but we don't know exactly what that is.
So do you feel like most of the protests are like we're fighting for something good, but we don't really know which direction?
I think it's all in the right direction, but it's not pinpointed. It's just going in that general direction. It's gonna make it to a destination regardless, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But what is that destination? Like,
Yeah.
this is where we decide what that is.
Yeah. I would agree. I mean, it's the biggest civil rights protest in U.S. history.
And so
Can
think
you
about
even
it.
fathom that?
dude, the protest, man, that's insane. The fight is there, but this is where the overlords step in and decide what it's for.
The overlords, yeah. So you
The
mean
overlords,
like the leaders of the movement, or like the people in power?
Yeah.
both, man. It's a battle of the titans, dude.
Damn,
The victim and the
the
perpetrator.
perpetrator. They all end in ER. I don't know how to.
Perpetrator and
The perpetuator.
oh,
Yeah, Todd is perpetuating.
is Todd talking to me right now? Is that
Dude,
what you're saying?
no. Your opinions on what it means to be oppressed. What is oppression to you, Mason?
Dude, depression to me, man. Honestly, dude, I have to go deep into the past
Yeah,
to answer that question.
like into your past or into like America's past?
Into my
the world's
past.
past, your past.
Because the only way we can truly connect
Uh-huh.
with the histories, America's past,
Right.
is through a small connection that we've made throughout our lives, you know?
Okay,
In
that's
our own
beautiful.
past,
Yeah, I would
right?
agree.
I would agree.
For me, dude, it's always been just being skinny as fuck. In middle school, I was skinny as fuck, dude. And people would be like, damn, you want to arm wrestle? I'm like, fuck you, dude.
Like, they
I
already
don't
know.
wanna fucking arm wrestle, bro.
I think I agree with that sentiment, but I also think that like there's this other sentiment that's also been going on where it's I will never understand, but I still stand by you and I support you.
Yeah.
And that's another super important thing.
And so, like, I feel like you gotta make that small connection in a sense.
Yeah.
Because there's some things that, like, if you've never connected to, you won't truly understand, you know? Like,
Well, can you still support something that you don't understand, do you think?
I don't know, man.
Because it's like, what if, like, you know, the aliens on planet Xenomorph or whatever, you know, like, they're just getting, like, their butts licked. And for them, that's, like, a horrible experience. But, like, we wouldn't, like, you know,
We
we'd be like,
wouldn't
man,
know.
like, they're just, like, getting their butts licked.
Yeah.
Who cares?
We're like, what the fuck? Who cares, man? Yeah, like, once
Yeah.
a day,
Like, I'd
Once
get
a
my
day,
butt licked. Like, I'm
They
down.
just go out and they're like doing their normal lives, and then they just get their butt licked.
And then this
Like,
dog-like
fuck.
creature just walks up out of nowhere, just fucking licks their butt and dips. And it's the most harrowing experience. And we're doing nothing
fucked
for
up.
it, you know?
Imagine like every single day it's decided by the gods like the worst possible time you get your asshole licked. And every single day you gotta live with that.
Dude.
The worst time, like you're talking to some like fucking like you're having a serious moment and you're like, ooh, and then you go in there
feel
and
it. Dude, what if you go the whole? It's been like it's been like 22 hours into the day, right? And you haven't gotten your butthole licked, and you're like, no, like,
it's
you're just
coming.
waiting. You're just like,
You're just
fuck. Like right before you go to sleep, you're just like, oh fuck.
you know, it just takes enough imagery. You know, it takes enough like thought process on it.
You just gotta think about it, you know?
But at first, you're just like, fuck
Yeah.
fuck those guys. They're just getting their
Like, who
asshole
cares? They're
licked.
getting their butt licked. Like, it's probably their fault. Like, just fucking
Like,
hide your ass, you know?
I'm jealous, low key. You know, like
Damn.
shit.
You think about it, and like you sit there and like you work through it, and you realize like shit, these motherfuckers are getting their buttholes licked, and they don't
Yeah.
want they don't want it,
They don't want it.
but it's happening.
We're on a quest to find people or like a species within the universe that enjoys getting their butt.
Yo, that's us.
licked.
That's us.
It's us.
It's us, dude.
We're gonna fucking like pimp it out where like we got a whole bunch of like we make it a whole sex thing, right? Like you go to this planet, you got a whole bunch of like freaky ass dudes, freaky ass girls just getting their assholes licked. Okay, that's too far. Maybe that,
How was that too far? Like, why is that the boundary? Any closing statements on the protests or on weird or on licking buttholes, Mason?
Or on sex.
I don't even know anymore, man.
So are you just high or are you drunk?
Who's asking?
Todd.
You or Todd?
Todd.
See?
They don't believe in you. I believe in you
See?
because I
Full
hear
circle.
you. Todd wants to know why you doubt him.
I don't trust him.
You don't trust Todd?
Trust him.
Todd is deeply hurt.
Todd has seen things that I wish no one else has seen.
You can't trust Todd after what he's seen. The experience.
He has so much shit on me.
Look, all I'm saying, Mason, is you're gonna wake up one night, you're gonna be going to the bathroom, you're gonna open the door, and Todd's just gonna be sitting there.
Revenge
Look,
of Todd.
it's not like I'm controlling him. Anyone else can hold him. He is Todd.
It's gone too far, brother. Todd needs to be put down, man.